Hello, I'm Doug Darch, a partner in Baker McKenzie's Labor and Employment Practice. Today I'm going to explain three things. One, the withdrawal liability embedded in multi-employer pension plans. Two, the threat withdrawal liability poses to your financial well-being. And three, the limited steps you can take to avoid losing your shirt. To understand withdrawal liability, you need to understand what is referred to as a, quote, defined benefit pension plan, unquote. The idea behind a, quote, funded, unquote, but that's a key word, pension plan is simple. For each hour, week, month, mile traveled, or unit of work produced, an employer makes a contribution to a pension trust on behalf of the employees who worked that hour, week, or month. That contribution, money, is invested, and when the employee retires at age 65, the pension trust pays that employee a specified amount each month based on the employee's credited service. That's the theory. The reality is different. Let me explain. There are three actors: the employer, the union, and the trustees for the pension trust. The employer negotiates contribution rates with the union. The trustees then set the retirees' monthly benefit levels. The problem here is there is usually a disconnect between the cash in and the cash out. Trustees set benefit levels which are too high, adopt relaxed eligibility rules for benefits, give away credited service, or adopt overly optimistic assumptions about the returns on investment. At the end of the day, the trustees have spent more money, given away monthly benefits, than employers' payments will support. The difference between the trustees' spending and the employer's contribution is the source of withdrawal liability. How can trustees misgauge this? There is a fund on the West Coast where withdrawal liability is 100%. That means for every dollar employers paid in over the past 10 years, they owe another dollar in withdrawal liability. Pension plans are a bit like Ponzi schemes. Does everyone remember who Bernie Madoff is? In a Ponzi scheme, as long as no one gets out, the scheme does not collapse. In 1980, Congress recognized pension plans were failing, so Congress decided to require every employer who gets out of a pension plan to pay its fair share of the unfunded liability in the plan. So, withdrawal liability in a nutshell is the amount of money an employer must pay when it stops making contributions into a pension plan. Here is a frightening fact. Pension plans which report they are fully funded can still have withdrawal liability. This is due to what trustees call a, quote, quirk, unquote, in the system. Withdrawal liability only becomes due and owing when the employer withdraws from the plan. Both a complete withdrawal and a partial withdrawal can trigger withdrawal liability. Employers who have multiple locations are typically involved in partial withdrawals. Complete withdrawals occur most frequently when there is a sale of a business, which is an asset sale. Historically, when an asset sale occurred, the pension trust assessed withdrawal liability against the seller. The buyer went free. Now trustees are suing buyers to collect the seller's withdrawal liability. I said that right. Courts are requiring the buyer of a union company's assets to pay the seller's withdrawal liability. There are several steps to take to avoid withdrawal liability. If you are the seller of a business, sell stock, not assets. The reason is the employer, the stock entity, never stops making contributions. Second, if you are the seller and you sell assets, get the buyer to agree to contribute to the pension fund at the same level you did. You as a seller will have to post a bond for 5 years, but after 5 years, the withdrawal liability is not your problem anymore. If you are buying assets out of a foreclosure or at an auction, make sure the seller did not have a pension plan. If you are in the construction industry, there is no withdrawal liability so long as you do not return to the union's geographic area on a non-union basis for 5 years following the withdrawal. Another strategy? Keep your personal assets separate and distinct from corporate assets. Pay attention to, quote, control group, unquote, rules. If you own several businesses, all of them could be liable for withdrawal liability if a sister company defaults. There is a lawsuit in Michigan now between several companies and its owner and their law firm over whether control group liability was adequately explained. It is a $3 million question. On a global level, start getting involved with the plan trustees. The management trustees can deadlock the board of trustees and force arbitration to decide the issue. Management trustees are not, quote, yes men. They get to vote no. They also get to bring their issues to the meetings and call for votes, and they should. Withdrawal liability is a hidden ticking time bomb. It threatens anyone owning a business with a union pension plan, anyone contemplating the sale or purchase of a business with a union pension plan, or the purchase of assets of a union business. Performing due diligence with a pension advisor is critical to the well-being of your business. Thank you for listening. And to learn more about the benefits of joining our ISBA Employee Benefits section, check the ISBA website and pass along this to your friends.